Good afternoon to all. My name is Anjali Vishwakarma. I'm professor of SIRT Bhopal. So in my today's YouTube video, I will discuss about the programming languages. I will start from this word, that is programming language. Firstly, I will introduce about the programming languages. So programming language is a set of rules. Whenever we write up programs, here we use different types of things to represent any program. So here we use character sets and different types of English sentences, collection of characters. Here we use the other different types of separators we use to understand the word sentences. So if I'm define the programming languages, then it is sets of rules. Here we use different types of characters and different types of keywords identifier. They are rule based. Different types of operators expressions we use in our programming. So there are two types of programming languages, that is object oriented programming language and procedure oriented programming language. Firstly, the procedure oriented programming is scam. So here there are different types of disadvantages associated with the procedure oriented programming language. So here we use object oriented programming language. In procedure oriented programming languages, uh, uh, they are not provided lots of functionalities that is provided by object oriented programming languages. Like in object oriented programming language, there are different types of concepts, that if we use these types of concepts, then it is easy for us to work on it any programming languages. So in OOP, they follow the bottom up approach, and procedure oriented programming follow top down approach. Data structure use characterize the objects, and most of the functions share global data. So in OOP, program are decomposed into objects. In POP, so the large programs are decomposed into functions. So here in object oriented programming language, we use objects. In procedure oriented programming language, we use functions. So the object oriented programming differ from the procedure oriented programming language. So if I'm talking the examples of the object oriented programming language, then C++ and Java are the object oriented programming language, and C language is an example of procedure oriented programming language. So lots of concepts that are not in the C language are in C++ language or in Java. So the classes, objects, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance are the examples of concepts of OOPs. So the classes consist of data attributes and methods. So in C++ Java, here we use classes. So they are collection of data attributes and methods. For example, by example, if I define the class, then vehicle is the class, or two-wheeler, four-wheeler are the examples of or types of classes. I mean, vehicle is a class, and two-wheeler and four-wheeler are the objects of that class. So the objects are real-time entity. Everything that we use in our real world or that we see in our real world are the classes. So any objects, object is everything. Object is a runtime instance of class. Object has a state, defined behavior, and unique identity. Now the next concept is that abstraction. Then abstraction allows dealing with the complexity of object. Abstraction allows picking out the relevant details of object and ignoring the non-essential details. Now the encapsulation. Encapsulation means information hiding. As a simple capsule is, in this simple capsule there is lots of medicine that is covered by the capsule. Same as encapsulation, we hidden lots of information. So encapsulation means information hiding. Now the inheritance. In the inheritance there are the two types of classes, that is child parent class and child class. All the properties that are in the parent class is inherited by child class. For example, car is a class, and child parent class is a car. We can say that parent class is a vehicle, and car, bike, scooty are the child classes of that parent classes. So this is the example of inheritance. So all the properties that are in the parent class is inherited by child class. So this inheritance provide the reusability. Lots of functions that are in the parent class are used in uh, the child class, so we don't have to write again and again the same function. So now the next one is polymorphism, that is provided in polymorphism means many forms. It refers to an entity changing its form depending on the circumstances. It means, for example, if I want to add two number, that is 4 and 5, then it will give result integer. It means whenever we add two integers, then we get integer, and whenever we add two string, then we will got the string. So the same operator used in a different way. So this is what the polymorphism. So I already told about the C and C++, C++ and Java are object oriented, and C is procedure oriented language. So these are the concept of object oriented programming language that is not in the C language. So as I already told you that whenever we want to write any paragraph, or whenever we write any sentences, or anything we write, here we use different types of characters, different types of integers, different types of symbols, different types of operators, and lots of more things that we use in writing anything. Same as programming language, whenever we write any programming language, so here we use different types of things like tokens, keywords, reserved words, character sets, identifiers, operators, symbols, specifiers, separators. So these are the things that we use. If I'm talking about, if I want to write any letter, here we use characters, a collection of characters, that is word. We write sentences. For separation, here we use comma, full stop, equal to, not equal to. These are the operators that I will use in writing any application. Here I will use the integer, characters, alphabet. So these are the things that are used in writing anything. Same as in programming languages, whenever we write any programs, here we use character sets, identifiers, keywords, tokens, reserved words, separators. So same as all the things. So I will start from this character set. So character set is a set of valid character that a language can recognize. So the A to Z, 1 to 10, or all the numbers, and some special characters or special symbols, operators are the character sets. So the tokens, so a group of characters are called tokens. So keyword, identifier, letters, punctuators, and operators are the tokens. So the keywords are those words that are predefined, they have predefined meaning, we cannot change on it. So delete, break, double, else, these are the keywords, and the different types of keywords you can read from it. Now the identifiers, whenever we want to identify, we want to uniquely define anything, here we use identifiers. As we all have names, we have some lots of things, so we can easily identify one person to another person. So there are the different types of rules whenever we use identifiers. So they must not be start from the digit. We can use alphabet digits and underscore here. So they are case sensitive, so we have to think about it, which it is uppercase or lowercase. So these are things that we have to keep our mind. Now the letters, there are 4 types of letters in C++, or in object programming language, or in programming language, that is integer constant, character constant, floating constant, and string constant. If I'm talking about the integer constants, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 or any numbers are the constant that are not floating. Matlab, it means if a number that is not separated by decimal is called integers. Now the characters, collection of character, or we can say that the words, sentences are the characters. Now the floating numbers, they are having fractional part. It means if a number separated by the dot, or we can say the decimal, then it is floating constant. Now the string constants, the sequence of character enclosed with double quotes is called string literals. So for example, computer will be represented by computer/0 in the memory, and its size is 98. So this is what the string. A string, we can say the collection of characters is called string. Now the punctuators, so bracket, parenthesis, braces, comma, semicolon, colon, asterisk, equal sign. So these are the punctuator that we use whenever we want to separate any word or sentences. Now the operators, as I already told you, there are different types of operator, that is arithmetic operator, relations, unary operator, conditional operator, comma operator. According to our use, according to our conditions, or according to our programs, or according to our thoughts, we use operators. So plus minus into division, slash, percentage, plus, equal to, minus, not equal to, these are the operators. So in our maths we use word mass rule, because we want to know which one operator will be next to execute, which one have higher priority for execution. So here we use precedence rule. So in word mass rule, firstly division is executed, next multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. Here the same we use precedence rules to evaluate any expression. In the associative, if two operators of the same precedence is present in the expression, then associative of operator indicate the order in which they execute. It means when the same precedence. So how can we decide which one will be the one who executed? So associativity rule define the which one will be the first who will executed first. So these are the different types of operator that we use, and every operator have their own rule how to be executed first, which one will be executed first. So here we use semicolons, scope resolution, unary plus, unary minus, increment decrement operators, address of, size of, a pointer to remember, bitwise XOR or logical operations, ternary operators. So these are the different types of symbol that we use. So how can we identify which one be executed first? So here we use precedence and associativity rule. Now this is what the thing that we use whenever we write any program. We write any English sentences, characters, identifiers, keywords, functions, methods, objects, classes. These are the things that we use in our programming. So if I'm talking about the structure of C++ program, firstly we will define the header files, then we define the data members, functions, objects and classes. So this is the structure. Here we use header files, declaration section, now the global declaration section, class declaration and method definition section, then main function and method definition section. So this is what the structure of C++ programs. So this is what my today's PPT or my today's lecture. Here I discuss about the programming languages, the types of programming languages, then I discuss about the procedure and object oriented programming language. Then I told you that there are lots of disadvantages associated with POP. So we will define OOP. So OOP have their different types of concept like inheritance, object classes, encapsulations, polymorphism. These are the concepts that we use in object oriented programming language. I told you about the C++ and Java are OOP language, and C language is POP language. So for easy to work, easy to understand, here we use object oriented concepts. So every concept have their own meaning and own features. Then I discuss the how we write the programming language, which types of things we use whenever we write in programs. So I already told you that characters, specifiers, keywords, identifier, tokens, reserved words, these are the things that we use in our programming languages. How can we identify which one will be the executed whenever we talking about the operators? Because there are lots of operators, arithmetic operators, plus minus into division. So how can we identify which one will the one who will execute it first? So here we use precedence and associativity rule. Next I told about the structure of C++. How can we write which are the things that we use in programming language, which type of rules we use, which type of the rules that we use to write a program. So this is what the structure. Every programming language have their structure, that how to write. So this is what the today's PPT. So thank you so much for listening.